Hi, this is Darlene Sheridan of New Revelations, and this is Stop in the Name of Love. I want you to truly think some things over. I have two questions for you today. Have you forgot to forgive? Or in order to forgive, you need to forget? Which one works for you? Let me give you a situation, especially for those who have been or are in an abusive relationship. Well, this time, Johnny, and I tell you about Jane and Johnny, Johnny is telling Jane that he is so sorry. I mean, he promised that he will never ever do it again. This time, she ended up in the hospital just for maybe a couple of days this time. And he's crying. He's begging her. Jane, please forgive me. You know I want our relationship to work. I love you, girl. I never meant to hurt you. I just lost my temper. And girl, baby girl, just forgive me. We need to move on in our relationship. We got these children. We got our lives together. You need to forgive me. And not only is Johnny pressuring you to forgive him, guess what? The pastor of the church, family, friends are saying you need to forgive Johnny. Give him another chance. God's giving you many chances. So, how do you forgive someone, or not just Johnny, but anyone who's done something that's really scarred you? How do you forgive? Do you forgive and truly forget? Or do you just bother not to forgive? Well, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about forgiveness over the next few weeks. But one of the things I want you to realize is that true forgiveness is a spiritual thing. It's something that God has to place in you in order to truly forgive, especially when the offense is very great. So I just want to talk to you today about 4 applications of forgiveness. And before I even give you the applications of forgiveness, I want to let you know that forgiveness through the Spirit of God is in your own time. You can't forgive just because someone has demanded forgiveness of you. It's a process, but I do want to let you know in the long run, you benefit from forgiving. I know that may sound crazy right now, and there are some things you feel you can never ever forgive a person for, and I feel you. But in the long run, forgiveness is for your benefit. So this week we just talk about some of the things to consider, or some of the process of forgiveness, some of the applications. So I'm going to talk about 4 of them today. Well, here's the first one, and I'm reading from notes, so you'll see me looking down from time to time. You have to acknowledge the hurt and relate out loud some of the incidents, the attitudes of the offender resulting in injury to you. And you know that injury could be your mind, your body, and your soul. That injury could be all of those components. It may not just be one part of it. It is not as simple as someone who stepped on your shoe and they say, I'm sorry. You say, oh, please, I've forgiven that. I haven't thought about it. It could be someone who is taking that shoe on their foot and kicked you in your side. So it depends on the offense. And so you have to acknowledge the hurt. When you acknowledge the hurt, the second thing you should do is acknowledge how it made you feel. Did it make you feel less than? Did it make you feel inadequate? Did it make you feel ugly? Did it make you feel dirty? Did it make you feel unworthy? Did it make you feel like, I don't know, because it's your feelings. What did it make you feel? How did it make you feel? So you have to at least say that. You can't just always forgive from a head part. You have to deal with the emotional impact that offense had on you or has on you. Now this is going to be challenging. Release the person. And when you release that person, it basically means you release them from any preconceived debt. In other words, you forgive them not based on their repayment or what's due to you because you felt that, you owe me this. You need to make this right. You need to do this and that. So you have to release them from any preconceived debt. And you have to forgive them from your heart and mind, but from your heart. Now, you have to accept the person. Now, that's something to really think about. Accept the person. Well, I guess what that means is that you have to realize you don't have the ability to change that person. Change has to come from within them, but you cannot change that person. So when you forgive that person, be aware that you're not able to change them, and that whatever preconceived debt you think they owe you, you have to dismiss that. And then the last thing I want to sort of touch is that person, you got to realize, may hurt you again. So just because you've forgiven them don't mean that they will not hurt you again. Now, I want to stop here on just acknowledgement. I want you to let you know, for those who are in abusive situations, that sometimes and many times you're not in a safe place. So when you forgive does not mean it's reconciliation. We'll talk more about reconciliation on next time we have the vlog. But just think about those things. Acknowledge. Understand your feelings about it. Know that you cannot change that person. They are who they are. But forgiveness is actually something that's going to benefit you. That sounds crazy right now, but we're going to talk more about it in the next few weeks. I want you to have safe, healthy, happy, loving relationships. My website is www.nurevelations.com. I want you to truly think some things over. Truly think about some things over. So that's why I say just stop in the name of love. Love yourself enough. But realize that forgiveness is a gift to yourself. I want to leave you just with this one quote, and then we'll talk about it more next week. This is from a guy named Lance Morrow. He says this: not to forgive is to be imprisoned by the past, by old grievances that do not permit life to proceed with new business. Not to forgive is to yield oneself to another's control. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to have to read the rest of his stuff next week. Another person's control. Think that one over. And we'll talk more. Again, I love you. God loves you most. And forgiveness, as we talk about it in the next few weeks, is something that is a benefit and a gift to yourself. Take care.